Yeah, I'm struggling to start here. Welcome, bitches, to episode 5 of still whatever the fuck this is called. I don't know yet. Got a couple of things in the mix that I'm not sure about yet. I don't know what this is called. But why is this episode 5? You forgot episode 4. You've done it wrong. No, I haven't. That was you, by the way. That was you. I haven't done it wrong, actually. I'm just fucking editing episode 4 still. I mean, it depends when you listen to this, but at the time of recording, episode 4 hasn't come out because it's too big of a fucking project. And it ended up being about 45 minutes long, unedited, and then once I stripped it back to the bare bones, there's still about, I can't remember how much there is, about half an hour though, and I'm trying to edit it in a different sort of way, but all that will be explained in it, because obviously it's weird at this point, because I can't reference back to that video, because it's not out yet, and you don't know what the fuck is in that video, but whatever. So, basically, let's get rid of all this fucking behind the scenes shit. Right, so basically, well, maybe you can't even fucking see the screen, depending on how I edit this. A few of these ago, I'm going to edit this one in a different way, because the way that I did it last time took me fucking 3 weeks to edit, and it's still not fucking finished. So I'm not going to do anything like that. You might get one that's like episode 4 once every couple of months or something like that, but it's just too much fucking work, so I can't be arsed with that shit. But what I'm gonna do, we'll see if I can be arsed. I mean, I might just be bullshitting you, and you might just be looking at Tombury King for ages, who knows. But you'll fucking, or you could be watching me draw, well, edit the Attack on Titan manga, and whenever you need a bit of screen cap, then I'll just bring the screen cap back in, you know what I mean? Because I feel that in this one, much like in the last one, I'm just going to be chatting on a lot and not really doing anything on the screen cap front, so it's probably pretty boring to watch, and the editing when I do it like this takes so fucking long that it's not worth doing. It's not worth me creating that filler, because it can take me fucking 3 weeks the way that I'm doing it. I mean, I suppose I could just chuck a fucking image up, but it just doesn't seem worth it. I mean, I feel it needs to be visually engaging as well as audibly engaging. Audibly engaging. I'm drinking water, so that's why I keep stopping going on. So, I don't know how long this one's going to run, but it's basically just going to be a quick do. I've got my bullet points again. I've got my, I mean, I suppose you don't know about the bullet points, but trust me, in episode 4, I introduced bullet points. They're a thing. I invent them. No, you've never seen them before. You don't know what I mean. I invented bullet points in the last episode. And that's the way that it fucking is. So, I don't really know where I'm fucking going. Right, so, let's do some news. Let's do a bit of fucking news. So, assuming that I'm not on the screen cap, we'll cut to the screen cap, which is like an audible cue for me. Right, you guys must have seen this motherfucker if you paid any attention to any kind of media recently, because I don't watch TV or anything like that, really. I try and avoid all the fucking bad news that's out there, and even I've fucking caught this shit. So, this picture, this fucking grinning twat that makes you look like an absolute fucking saint, is Jamal al-Harith, who is also known as Ronald Fiddler, because that's his actual fucking name. Oh, it says here, birth name Ronald Fiddler. Now, I don't fucking... Who names them these fucking Jamal al-Harith? Abu Zakaria al-Brittany. Like, does the media give him that name, or is that like an initiation name? Why has he got 3 names as well? I don't fucking understand this. Anyway, basically, this fucking spineless twat, long story short, was a suicide bomber. He's just fucking clearly a scumbag cunt. But he blew himself up on what I'm going to explain is to get revenge against his oppressors. So I don't think... I mean, the story's been being put out. Here we go. Family identifies Jamal al-Harith paid £1 million in compensation by the UK government as man... Islamic State. Right, that doesn't make sense, does it? I think they put man in the wrong place there. Right, let's confirm this. Family identifies Jamal al-Harith paid £1 million compensation by UK government. Okay, fine. As man Islamic State says was behind Mosul attack. Surely as Islamic State says man was behind Mosul attack. Surely. Whatever. Fucking guardian of dumb cunts anyway. So basically this guy's been fucking released from Guantanamo Bay a few years ago. About 5-6 years ago, something like that. And paid compensation and all this shit. Now, the first question is, why the fuck did these cunts let him out? Why did he let him out now that he's clearly a fucking bad dude, right? Like, he must have been a bad dude the whole fucking time. Perhaps not. Because what I'm saying is... So we'll go to the same source. I'm not a fucking fan of The Guardian, by the way, at all. I think it's all bullshit, which is why I'm saying how can really take this as... Like, who names this dude? Like, if they just called him fucking Ronald Fiddler, would we have as much of a hate? Does it fit their bill of the model that they want to build of fundamentalist Islam? Or we could just call it fucking psychotic cunts, because these guys aren't following a religion. They're just taking violent parts of things, justifying it with religion, and being huge cunts about it, I think. So anyway, this one from so the first one, this article is from 22nd of February 2017. So that's today at time of recording this. Right, this is from 25th of April 2011, right? And this is the one where it gets released. I managed to find this from the same source. So, a waiter and heating engineer and Afghan farmer mistaken for a Briton. Oh no, they're separate people. A waiter, a heating engineer and an Afghan farmer. God, it sounds like the start of a joke, doesn't it? A waiter, a heating engineer and an Afghan farmer mistaken for Britain have been among those locked away indefinitely at Guantanamo, right? So, Jamal al-Harith, born Ronald Fiddler. So he must... Yeah, perhaps he changed his name there when he converted to Islam. Although, I'm not fully sure why, but whatever. He was imprisoned by the Taliban as a UK spy, then taken to Guantanamo Bay by the Americans as a source of intelligence for Taliban methods. So, we'll go through this one, because this is some unlucky cunt, this. Several British nationals and residents were detained in Cuba for years, despite the US authorities knowing they had no connection with Al-Qaeda or the Taliban, or otherwise posed no security risk, the Guantanamo files show. After being rendered to the prison, a number of British prisoners gave accounts of fighting for the Taliban in Afghanistan. Interrogation of some of them provided the US authorities with a detailed picture of jihadist networks, in North London in particular. However, even these prisoners deemed to pose no risk remained locked up. Some were held because their captors believed they could yet give up useful information, others apparently because camp authorities were unable to admit they should have been released. So, Jamal al-Harith was rendered to Guantanamo because he'd spent time in a Taliban prison as a fucking prisoner, and he's got knowledge of Taliban interrogation techniques. Okay, fair enough, but I don't think he should be in prison because he knows something about their interrogation techniques, but whatever. So he's born in Manchester, converted to Islam in his 20s, travelled widely in the Muslim world. He was detained near Kandahar by the Taliban because he was suspected as a British spy, yeah? So the fucking Taliban gripped this guy, assuming that this is legit, which we will for now, for the sake of argument, for the sake of me trolling the fucking internet and comparing loads of different things. So, for a while he was forced to share his cell with his large cell with a horse that would panic when US aircraft bombed the city after 9/11. When the Taliban fled, Harith and 4 other foreign prisoners were advised by the Red Cross to remain at the jail, where they were fed and well treated until they could be repatriated. 2002, they were discovered by a reporter from the Times who alerted the British diplomats in Kabul. Instead of being flown home, they were detained by US Special Forces and taken to a prison camp where he was beaten, stripped naked, and interrogated. Okay, and then just zoom forward 7 years. It's 6 years. And this guy's become a suicide bomber. Now, what I'm saying is, like, this is why he's done this to get back at his oppressors, because there's a strong possibility that this bloke, who, you know, given what we know just from The Guardian, need to fucking clear that up, like, didn't have any connection with the Taliban apart from being a prisoner of the Taliban. Well, that doesn't make you a criminal. Surely the complete opposite is true. So when he was rescued, this guy was... You must have seen the fucking videos where they're pissing on the prisoners and shit like that. The American soldiers pissing on the fucking prisoners, humiliating the fuck out of them and shit. I believe that they created a fundamentalist out of this guy. And yeah, probably entirely their fault, because I mean, it really depends on at which place was he treated the worst. Was he treated worse when he was back in the fucking Al-Qaeda prison, or was he treated worse when he was being fucking humiliated by the people who were supposed to be the good guys? You know what I mean? Who are actually from his fucking home country. You know what I mean? He's from Manchester and he's got... Well, no, actually, it was the fucking Americans, wasn't it? But still, I believe that they created this shit. And I believe that you either fucking release them, or you've got two options, basically, because I don't think that you can... Like, I was having this discussion the other day, and I don't think that you can be nice to them, you know, and like, fucking, oh, yeah, we'll sort them out, or whatever. But I think that the options are you fucking reintegrate them into society, or you kill them. And that might sound fucking insane, but things like this can happen. You know what I mean? So you don't fucking... At no point should there be an in-between of humiliation. You either... If they're not too far gone down this jihadist path, or whatever fucking path it is, because there's fucking Christian fundamentalists as fuck. If they're not too crazy and you can just rope them back in and bring them back to the sane side, you should do that. If not, they need to fucking die, don't they? They just do. I think that they're your two options, strictly logically. You know what I mean? So, that's the fucking news for today. Anyway. So, moving on. I just wanted to, like, sort of get that off my chest. In fact, we'll just have a quick look at what they're saying now. Because obviously they're bringing up that he got £1 million in compensation. Well, the guy probably fucking deserved that. You know what I mean? Like, he was just a mistaken dude. He went from being a prisoner to being a prisoner for one side of this fight and to being a prisoner for the other. I mean, I think he goes and fucking does join Islamic State, but he wants his fucking revenge, man. We don't really know how fucking bad he had it in there. He was awarded compensation after claiming that British agents knew he was being mistreated during the time he was held without charge at Guantanamo. Also, they just knew. They didn't specifically mistreat him, although we don't know. He was taken to the centre after being found in a prison in Afghanistan in 2002, where he had been placed after being intercepted by the Taliban, who believed him to be a British spy. So he was found in 2002. After 2011, how fucking long was he in there? They imprisoned him after coming to the conclusion that he had tried to join the Islamic fundamentalist group until they turned on him. Well, that's not what it said in the other fucking thing, is it? But whatever. I mean, I do imagine that they did look at their old, at this article. And I also wouldn't put it past the fucking Guardian or any other major newspaper to come through into this and edit parts out, like, not necessarily censor, but in a sense, yeah, they just fucking, just tweak bits and stuff like that. Because before this came up, when the last time that someone looked at this, I mean, it's been shared five times on Facebook, whereas this one's got, 326 shares, you know what I mean? So, no one's reading this motherfucker, really. So how many people were reading it before this new story came up? How many people were reading the old one? Well, we don't fucking know. I'd just say, I would not be the least bit surprised if they'd fucking gone into that and edited it, but obviously then you get little hiccups like this. He tried to join the Islamic fundamentalist group until they turned on him. So 2003, the year before his release, so he was released in 2004. A brother who converted to Islam in his 20s, believed he found peace in doing so after a difficult childhood, very smart and very serious, with a sense of humour. Okay, he's very serious with a sense of humour. Alright, love, whatever. Expected to have knowledge of Taliban treatment of prisoners and interrogation tactics. Okay, that's what we heard. Fair enough. Not sure about this then. Not sure about this bit. Like I say, I still stick like that. I wouldn't be surprised if they fucking edited it. His timeline's not been fully established. A decade later, despite his high profile, he was able to travel to Syria. Look, turns out I don't fucking care. Right, we're moving on. So, what the fuck happened? What happened to episode 4? And, I mean, these are supposed to come out every week. If you check the fucking dates of release, it's been more than a fucking week since the gap between this one and the last one. And obviously, it's not a 1 week gap just because episode 4 didn't come out. It's like fucking 3 weeks. But sometimes when you're doing things like this, they're like passion projects. And if actual responsibility, actual life shit comes up, you've got to deal with your shit. That definitely comes first, you know what I mean? Couple of my best mates have been moving house, so I gave them an hand with that, because it's like, you need to get on it, and if it comes to a point where it's like, I could do this fucking whatever the fuck this is, which is probably going to become the name of it. I can do this recording shit, ranting on about whatever the fuck I want, or I can actually go and make a fucking beneficial difference to someone's life, give them a fucking hand, and get some fucking free endorphins for the day, you know what I mean? Then I'm definitely going to choose that, because it's just the absolute fucking winner. So that's basically where I'm up to. I mean, other shit's come up as well, you know what I mean? But I'm also a fucking lazy bastard. Truly, I'm a lazy bastard. But what can you do? So I've been trying some different things recently. I've gone on a no sugar month, which after I started doing it, so I started doing it towards the end of January, probably like the 25th of January or something like that. And then I find out, like a quarter of the way through February, they're doing a no sugar for February, like with this dry January shit. They're doing no sugar for February. You know what? Go fuck yourselves. This was my idea. Now it looks like I'm jumping on a fucking bandwagon. I was doing this when it was cool, man. I wasn't having sugar before everybody else wasn't having sugar. It's like, go fuck yourselves. So I don't know. I think, I've also not been having takeaway for a month. And the idea is that it'll make me cook at home more, which I fucking can't be arsed doing because I cook all day at work. So I get quite a bit of takeaway because I'm just a fucking lazy ass. And also, I fucking love Chinese. It's like, oh, yes. Fucking just the squids and the spices and fucking rice and noodles and shit like that. Oh, it's just my jam. Everything about it. So staying away from that has actually forced me into a position where I end up cooking loads of takeaway meals. Like I'm making the prawn toast, making those little chili cheese bites that they do at Burger King. But they're all ending up not necessarily better. They're going to be better for you, but I mean, it's fucking marginal. I mean, you can't really make fucking deep fried, breaded bits of chili and cheese any fucking healthier. Although it's not processed, you know where all the shit's coming from, and you can put whatever you want in it. So, my chili cheese bites had bacon in. Fuck you, Burger King. Right, where was I up to? So, trying all this stuff. Oh, so another confession that I've got about the takeaway thing. I had a moment of weakness. I had a moment of weakness on Valentine's Day, and so I just finished work. I'm absolutely fucking starving, and one of my esteemed colleagues suggests that we'll go to Burger King, and I'm like, oh my fucking god. And my weakness overtook. I was almost a full month in, so I'm not sure whether to start the month again. I think that happened on Valentine's Day. My month would have ended on the 27th, which is coming up real soon, actually. Oh, it's still fucking miles off. It's next Monday. I was nowhere fucking near. Either way, I'm not sure whether to restart the month, which I think I should do, or if I can just go a few extra days at the end. Now, I know what I should do, but I'm sort of asking for permission to be like, oh, maybe you just let me do some days at the end and that'd still count. But either way, it's still been better for me, and I'm definitely, now I've got more of a handle on it, I'm going to cut down more on the takeaways because I know how to make most of the shit now. You know what I mean? So that's nice and easy. Right. Time. It's science time. Nutritionalist science time. That's the theme tune for science time, or whatever the fuck I just called it, because that's how bad my memory is. I don't fucking remember. So now we're on to the bullet points. I'm actually going for the Guinness World Record of longest, most syllabalistic bullet point list. Yeah, I just made that word up of syllabalistic. But I need to know if that's a word. Syllabalistic. Syllabalistic. Oh, we've got it. That's gonna be a long fucking time to read. Syllabalistic. Generating syllable information from words. English only. Two functions are exposed. Word for a single word and text for multiple words. What? Syllabalistic. Require. Syllabalistic. Some word. Differential. Some word. What? Why is this in code? Forget this. Forget this shit. Anyway, syllabalistic. So, yeah, this is basically the fucking biggest list of most complex words ever in bullet points, because it's like serious, deep fucking science shit that, well, I'd say I know very little about, but after doing all the fucking research, I've actually ended up with some of the information being my fucking own anyway. So, whereas I was just thinking, no, like, I'd heard some podcasts and shit like that. I was like, yeah, this is fucking, like, people need to know about this because they might not realise the importance of gut health, which is basically your fucking, like, the importance of gut health is becoming more and more apparent. And if you're looking into it at all, then you're like, oh, fucking hell, yeah, this could have a real fucking impact on my health. And we're talking it fixing all sorts of shit. So we'll start off with, I'll tell you what it is, right? Serotonin is a neurotransmitter found in your brain, but it's sort of a little mysterious little fucker because it's found all through your body. Like, it's in your gastrointestinal tract, which is basically from your fucking, it's your whole eating system, from your esophagus to your fucking sweaty asshole. We don't know everything that it does, but we know that it has effects on certain things. So there's things we can say about it, like the possibility that it's, if you don't have enough of it, if you've got a serotonin deficiency, it can be responsible for things like changes in your mood and anxiety and low sex drive and depression and the craving of sweet foods and potentially impulsiveness. So to get a hand, I mean, does this sound like you? Does this sound like something that you do? Well, bam, let's learn how to get fucking more serotonin in your system. So the easiest way is gonna be sunlight. Serotonin production is increased in sunlight, so you're like, boom, just fucking sunbathe. But if you live in the fucking north of England like me, you are fucked. And I assume you do live in the north of England because I have a very, very limited scope with these fucking episodes. So, you don't get no fucking sun. When it is out, you're probably inside. I know what you're fucking like, you cunts. How do we improve it? Well, given that it can be found in your stomach, your intestines, shit like that, which contains quite literally a fucking ecosystem of bacteria, of like hundreds of trillions of what are called microbiota, which is basically like a fucking team of all sorts of microorganisms, like bacteria and viruses. And, like, yes, viruses are in your body even if you're not fucking ill, because they're just inert if you're healthy. Like, they don't do anything, almost like you're a carrier, I assume. Archaea, which is, archaea in the most basic term, a bacteria-shaped little cell dude thing, but it's got no nucleus and no organelles, no cell-walled structures inside it that perform particular purposes. So we're not talking that they have fucking lungs or they've got a fucking heart or anything like that. That's not how they fucking work. You dumb cunt. Now, all of these fuckers inside of us outnumber us like literally 10 to 1 on the fucking what would you call it? Atomic level? It's not atomic, but you know what I mean, on the cell level. On the cell level. And like on the gene level, I think there are 100 times more bacterial genes in you than there are human ones. So if you look at that, like there's a very small, like, but they're very what would you say? Like they're much smaller cell-wise than we are. than our cells. So they actually only make up like 1/10 of your body, even though they outnumber all of your human cells. You know what I mean? So if you crushed everything down, then you'd probably be looking at like something the size of a 50p coin that was all of the microbacteria, and then probably something more like a football that was like like a Samus morph ball if you crushed down all of the human cells and, you know, genes and shit. That's a technical term, that, genes and shit. I don't know what I was talking about. That's why I've got the bullet points though. Let's have a look. Right. We're made up of so many of these dudes. Like, so many of these little fuckers. Like, they're outnumbering us. We are essentially just a fucking habitat for them. We are a whole fucking universe for these little dudes to live in. Where each one of us is a little fucking world for all these super tiny microorganisms, the microbiota, to live in. And surely it makes sense to want to keep these dudes happy because they're closely integrated in all of your shit. In all your fucking life, all your fucking everything. You know what I mean? I think... Oh, just checking recording there. Because I had the fucking worst feeling that I hadn't pressed record. But... turns out I'm not that much of a dumb cunt this week. Right, are we going to improve it? Are we going to improve ourselves? Well, this is a real issue for me. It pains me to even reference this. But, I think episode 2 did an episode on, like, how Monster is fucking really bad for you, and then it turned out that vitamin B12 was actually alright, and that's the one that's got 500% in, and then, but B3, like, if you overdose on it, then it's not fucking great. It could fucking, you can quite easily have a lethal dose of B3, but it turns out that B6, vitamin B6, which is the one in the Monster that had like 200+%, is closely linked to your serotonin production. So, you rely on the fucking, the Monsters, you're gonna have more serotonin. So I'm thinking, for fuck's sake, this is bullshit. Like, why are Monsters turning out to be fucking good for you? Because I know that they're not, because I fucking, whenever I eat shit, like fucking Burger King, and by the way, the fucking KFC I had was fucking dog shit. Like, it just really was not worth it. I definitely should have got Chinese. Because you're just eating this, it's just crap. It's processed crap that you just can't, I don't know, I just want to go to fucking sleep as soon as I've eaten it. Which, it's not eating too much, it's just eating shit after not eating shit. After knowing where all your ingredients come from and shit like that. So, I know that there's something wrong with the Monster, but now that I look into it, everything seems to be above board. So I'm like, what the fuck? So we'll carry on. So you've got your vitamin B6, and you've got another one called tryptophan, which is an amino acid, which essentially means that it's not produced in the body. It's found elsewhere. It can only be found in the diet, in supplements, things like that. And it's found in protein-rich foods. Yeah, of course. If you can get some protein-rich foods in you, you know what I mean. Get some fucking meat, eggs, shit like that. But there's a problem with these protein-rich foods, is that even if you consume loads of them, it doesn't really increase how much serotonin is in your brain, how much passes through what's called the blood-brain barrier, which only lets the purest of chemicals, molecules, anything, through to feed your brain. So, like, glucose goes through there, and ketones go through there, fucking, and obviously anything produced in the brain can sometimes pass into the fucking bloodstream. I completely assume that last part. I don't know if it can work in reverse, but the blood-brain barrier is definitely a thing, and that's where you absorb nutrients from the blood. It's sort of a filter, so that you're not just getting fucking processed crap, or unprocessed crap in this sense, because you want it to be as refined as possible. You don't want granulated sugar in your fucking brain. You want glucose, because that's an efficient fuel for your brain, according to some shit, you know what I mean? I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh, you've got your tryptophan. You've got your tryptophan in your protein-rich foods, and it's not going to fucking boost your brain levels. Here's the issue. Tryptophan refines into serotonin. It goes through a conversion into serotonin, which is, so it goes from L-tryptophan through, I think it's, I think 5-hydroxytryptamine is serotonin, or it's the stage before, but either way, it's like a 3 or 4 stage conversion to get tryptophan into serotonin. Now, the thing is, iron enzymes, if you will, like enzymes that are reliant on iron to function, perform this synthesis. So the thing is, you need to have a good supply of iron to be able to perform the synthesis, you know what I mean? To change from eating this fucking red meat and turning it into feel-good fucking antidepressants that are naturally produced in your body for your fucking brain. Iron deficiency is a big thing. Like, iron deficiency is one of the most common deficiencies ever. Like, out of pretty much all nutrient deficiencies, iron is one of the fucking biggest. So, where are you going to get your fucking iron from? Well, there's a good chance that you have an iron deficiency compared to what you're supposed to have, you know what I mean? Like, go fucking get down to the pub and get some Guinness down you. Or maybe not, you know what I mean? So where else can we get fucking iron from? Well, we got meat. Meat comes into it again. I mean, if you don't eat meat, you're going to have to take a supplement. You're just going to have to. But if you do eat meat, then, so you've got your tryptophan that's in protein-rich foods, like meats, and then you've got your iron that's in meat. So you're thinking, oh, fucking great, it's meat all the way. Fucking Atkins for me. Wrong, bitch. Because even then, you've got a really fucking small chance of being able to carry any of the tryptophan across the blood-brain barrier, because it's absorbing all sorts of other shit. Like in the list of amino acids that are in meat, tryptophan's pretty fucking far down priority-wise. So your body, over the blood-brain barrier and shit, is absorbing all sorts of other things, and just into cell walls of other things in your body. It's absorbing all these other amino acids first. And, I mean, here I'm fucking completely guessing, but I imagine that your cells can get full, and then you just have this fucking wasted tryptophan like, nobody loves me. And it's like, yeah, fuck you, tryptophan. And it's like, but I'm good for your health. And everyone's like, fuck you. That's how I imagine it going, because everybody's full on these fucking other amino acids, which are still good for you, but they don't fucking refine into serotonin. So what's the fucking point, body? Your body is dumb. So, carbs. Evil, evil carbs. I fucking feel you cringing when I say that. But they're predominantly known to be so bad because lots of them contain gluten, which can fuck over mental performance, yeah? But carbs are actually responsible for transporting tryptophan over the blood-brain barrier, because basically these other amino acids are soaked up, some kind of interaction with the carbs, and what's left is something that's jumped on some of the carbs and is going across the blood-brain barrier. So it's got a fucking miles better chance of getting into your brain and actually being turned into serotonin eventually, you know what I mean? On one hand, you're getting your tryptophan, you're getting a decent tryptophan intake, and you're ready to be like, yes, I can fucking synthesize this into serotonin, but on the other hand, you just fucking dosed your ass up on simple fucking carbohydrates, which are basically going to supercharge your insulin levels, spike the fuck out of that, and become like right now energy. And which is, you know, it's useful, but it can fuck you over. It, like, you'll get fucking lethargic and shit later on by these simple carbs, you know what I mean? More complex carbs are definitely far better than you. But the, like, glucose has actually been linked in some studies to depression. So now we're like, oh shit, I've got my fucking antidepressants, but I have to take them with these downers so that I can fucking even turn them into antidepressants. We're fucked. We're playing a losing game. So now we've got a fucking paradox. Because we can't fucking intake any. Like, you know a little baby or a kid gets cranky and shit when they're hungry or sleepy. Like, or fucking what, if they just start being a dick, they're fucking just more whingy and shit. And you're just like, alright, fuck off, man. You're very much in the same way. Like, don't think you're too far removed from that little fucking baby, because you're the same fucking species. I'm the same species. We're all that little fucking baby. And if you're not going to treat your body correctly, then you're basically going to fucking start having a tantrum, but not quite as obvious as when a baby does it, because it needs its mother to pick up on the fucking signals. Whereas your body just needs you to pick up, because it knows that you can go and get whatever it wants, but we just don't know the signs anymore, you know what I mean? Or anymore. I don't really know if we ever knew it, because this is all, like, sort of just coming out. I'm not saying, like, we're the worst that we fucking ever have been, and we used to be fucking amazing back in ancient Egyptian times, but who fucking knows? They might have had their shit down back then. But if you don't treat your body right, then it's not going to reward you with treats like serotonin and endorphins, which are, and it literally means, like, endorphins, or maybe pronounced endorphine, because it's endogenous morphine. So when I fucking realised that, I was like, well, when I found that out, I was like, holy fucking shit, I love morphine, because I've never had it in a medical setting or anything, or, like, recreational, so I can't really compare it to anything. You know what I mean? I'm just like, morphine's probably, like, people say that it's good. Holy shit, I fucking love morphine, because when my body creates it, I'm like, holy shit, that was fucking awesome. Now I go around, like, fucking trying to do some exercise, or trying to get productive shit done, or helping people out and shit, just so that I could fucking get a tiny taste of that endogenous morphine. If you don't get that morphine, the serotonin, the shit like that, you feel depressed, you feel anxious, you feel angry, you feel like shit, because you are shit. Right. Back to the point. Carbs help push this fucking serotonin across the blood-brain barrier to be absorbed, which is where we fucking need it, because that's where it's going to cure your depression, yeah? So, we know that we need the tryptophan-rich food. We've got our paradox again, but, like, we need to consume carbs, which are going to spike our insulin in order to absorb it. So, what the fuck do we do? Grab a monster and just rely on your vitamin B6, like I said before, to boost your levels? No, you stupid cunt. Because, and here's where I'm fucking winning, bitches, caffeine inhibits your serotonin production, or at least high levels of caffeine, which is fucking monster, by the way. Holy fucking shit. That shit is fucking lethal. That means, see, I fucking knew it. I knew that it was fucking gonna fuck you over. I knew there was something wrong with the monster. And yeah, it might seem like I'm clutching at straws, but all this shit that's in it, so it basically negates the fact that vitamin B6 is in it at all, because it can't be, even if it's synthesized, even if it helps with the serotonin production, it stops any serotonin production. Unless one lasts drastically longer than the other, which I'm not fucking sure about, but I seriously doubt. I think that the one that lasts the longest will be the caffeine. Then there's literally, you're doing a detriment to your body. You're actually adding to depression. So then there's the fucking B12 that is good for relieving depression and stuff like that, like I mentioned in the other episode. What the fuck's the point in that when you can't release the serotonin, which is basically the only thing that makes you feel good? What's our plan gonna be? Yeah, we can't turn to the fucking monster because we're not dumb cunts anymore, are we? The answer is no. No, that's you. So, plan is that you leave a substantial gap. Now, this is going to fuck over your fucking meal or whatever, but it depends how fucking good you want to feel, doesn't it? You leave a substantial gap between ingesting the tryptophan source and ingesting carbs. Because then you can digest the tryptophan, and then it's ready to be carried across. Like, it sort of gets into position, waits at the fucking start line on the blood-brain barrier until the fucking carbs come along. You know what I mean? And in this sense, it'll help. Also, obviously, avoiding the simple carbohydrates, which are like your crisps, your just fucking processed shit, crisps, chips, fuck knows, just shit, basically. Big ass processed food. But the thing is, there's no current consensus on how long this fucking gap is, so it's going to take some experimenting with it, you know what I mean? So you basically have your meat and then you fucking have your carbs afterwards, and you're just going to have to see how fucking long it takes. You know, just, I mean, hopefully there's going to be fucking marked results in the, like, that are big enough to measure without having any kind of fucking blood test, you know, so we can just do it at home rather than dicking about, oh, I'll have to go to doctors to have my tea. Fuck off, who's going to do that? The idea is that by selecting what you're eating, what you eat, and properly timing it to however the fuck your body's going to absorb it, you can, like, diet your way out of anxiety or depression or laziness and slam. You're in a happier, healthier body with a more productive mindset. You're ready to take on the fucking world. So, as you can tell from the fact that episode 4 is, at this time of recording, still not fucking out, I need to up my fucking mental game. And so I'm trying this shit out. This is where the fucking, the sugar thing comes in, where I'm not having the sugar and shit. Seeing if I can get myself more productive. Like, the aim of the game is self-optimization. Getting the most out of your time. And if you really think about that, your time is one of the most valuable resources, if not the most valuable resource, in the known fucking universe. Because there's no other creature that can do what you do. Yeah, like, there's nothing in the think about that. There's nothing in the whole fucking universe that has the cognitive function, the dexterity, the capacity of cuntishness that you have. So, fucking optimize that time. Use it fucking wisely, because you're wasting it. Like, you just fucking, if you're this far into this fucking video, you're wasting your goddamn time. Go do something. So maybe now it's the time to do that thing you always wanted to do, or to change things in ways that make your dreams suddenly achievable goals, just a bit at a time or whatever. I mean, I'm not going on about the fucking nutritionalist shit anymore, because I'll leave a couple of fucking videos in the description by actual fucking doctors who know what they're fucking talking about, and you can just fucking take it from there, I guess. If you want to find out more. If not, go fuck yourselves. Like, I really could not give a shit. And remember, much love. Don't be a cunt.